Okay, so today's job, we've been called out to this bathroom. Now, this bathroom was installed by another contractor, and unfortunately the customers had multiple issues with it. As you're going to see in this video, this bathroom is not even 12 months old. They've tried contacting the previous installer, but they're basically not interested in returning. And as you can see, we've got a large gap between the bath seal and the wall. We've got a very large gap underneath the bath, and we've got multiple issues here with cracked tiles, and this is in turn causing water to be allowed to escape into the substrate behind, which unfortunately is timber, which is then blown and obviously expanded, which has then blown the tiles in front. So you can see there the grout is very much damaged. We've got more cracks on the left hand side of the shower valve. Some of them are really quite bad, to be honest, and obviously this is somewhere that water can easily get into the wall and cause damage behind, which it has done. So the customer was quite confused as to why the tiles had cracked in such a short amount of time, but when you actually look into it and investigate further and you know what you're looking for, you can easily find the problems. Like I said, it does look like a decent install at first glance, but when you really sort of check it out, you realise it's not so good. Right, so we've removed the shower screen off the wall here and removed the shower itself, and you can see just how bad the shower was installed. For some reason they've cut out squares in the tiles rather than nice neat circles. You can see only 2 of the holes out of the 4 for the shower brackets have been screwed, which has then allowed water to easily escape. There's the plywood behind the tiles, and you can see it's all mouldy and damp even on the very outside edge, so you can clearly tell water's got in. This is just a quick snap of the level on the bath tap, so you can see how badly unlevel that is. And again, on the back edge, you can see the bath is clearly not level. So this tells me the installer didn't have sort of the best idea of what he was doing. This is the front edge. You can see again, it's not level. So probably why the tiles are so bad. I mean, look at the tiny little slithers of tiles along the bottom edge. It's just really not how you're supposed to set tiles out. And then if you look on this back wall, the grout lines are just not even lining up, and they're getting bigger and bigger as you go up. I mean, some of them are just unbelievable. I mean, you've got gaps there that are probably 25mm difference, as you can see there, as it runs across. It's just unbelievable. I don't know how you can get tiling that wrong, to be honest, but unfortunately they have, and this has been a problem for the customer that we're going to put right. So what we're going to do now is knock all these tiles off, and you can see already within the first few tiles being taken off, there's ply behind. Got my colleague here just knocking some of the tiles off, and it's just absolutely saturated behind. So just put a bit of board in the bath with some towels, just protect the bath as best we can, and we're going to knock this whole wall down, remove all of these tiles, and come up with a better solution for the customer. Here now we've got all the wall off, and you can see back to fresh plaster now, and just look what the water damage has done. And to make things worse, we've now found copper pipes being buried straight in bonding, no protection on the copper at all. It's just absolutely shocking. Really frustrating job, to be honest, when you get called out to these sorts of things and you don't really know what you're coming up against. But we've chipped all the bonding off, exposed the copper pipes, and we've just protected them with some duct tape. Now, this isn't sort of the best thing you can do, but it's the best we could do in this situation. I couldn't possibly get any sort of sleeves over the pipes with a larger pipe, or put any lagging around it, so duct tape was the best thing. I mean, you can use anything, even newspaper's good enough. It just stops the copper from touching the bare brickwork or breeze block or plaster or bonding or whatever it is in the wall. So we've done that as extra precaution for the customer, and as you can see now, what we've done is we've got our cue board on the wall. Now this is a tile backer board, completely waterproof and easy to install. We've got our shower pipes coming through the wall. We've then siliconed round the shower pipes as they come through the cue board. And now what we're going to be doing on this job is installing a mermaid board. So this is a 10mm acrylic panel, and this is just a plain white version, and that's going to be going directly over the cue board on this job. What that's then going to do is allow this installation to be completely waterproof. So that's the panel on the wall now, and we've silicone around the pipes again so it's extra protected again, and no water's ever going to get through that gap and cause damage behind. So it's completely waterproof and going to be a much better job for the customer, who was really against trying to retile it again, to be honest, after the issues they've had. And then what we'll do is silicone down the side edge, silicone along the bottom, silicone along the top, and then we're going to install a little bit of board down the side to hide the gap down there, which we've now installed. We've reinstalled the shower back onto the wall, which is the existing shower. The customer didn't want to buy a new shower, so we've just reinstalled the existing one back on, and that's a nice neat job. And now we're going to install the shower screen. Now, I didn't want to reuse the old screen. I didn't like it at all, the way it was fixed. The fixings on it were just shocking, so we've bought a new shower screen as agreed with the customer, and we're just going to get that installed today. Make sure you double check your instructions, but most of the time screens are very similar, so you just need to go 10mm off the edge of the bath, as we've done on this one. And then all I do is I get a laser level, so I've just got my laser level set up there, and I'll mark that directly on the 10mm line, put my shower bracket up against the wall in line with my laser level, and then draw your 3 brackets. Once you've done that, screw them in the wall. I've just used a 6mm drill bit with some red plugs, and then silicone inside that hole as well, so it's completely waterproof, and then you know you're going to get a nice solid seal. And then there we go, this is the screen installed. Nice new screen, fixed solid straight through the panel, through the cue board, and straight into the masonry. So that's nice and solid, not going anywhere. And then we've run a nice clean clear bead of silicone on the outside edge. We've siliconed all the inside with white. I've also renewed it all the way around the bath so that it matches and looks nice and neat for the customer. And it's all in, tested and working. Lovely job, customer's very happy now, and hopefully they won't have any more problems with this bathroom. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on this job, so please leave your comments in the comment section below. Right, just been called out to this toilet, so what it's doing, it's constantly running into the pan. We've got the same issue upstairs. I've got my colleague with me upstairs. They're going to change the components in the upstairs one, and I'm going to do the downstairs one. I recognise this flush valve already, and I do stock them on the van. It's a Scient one. And then what we've done with this is I'm just going to flush the toilet, turn the water off. Don't start leaking, please. Thank you. So this is a Optima 49, so you get an Optima 49 and an Optima 50. The 49 is the one where the button screws into the valve, and the 50 is the one that comes with the cable that connects to the button. But what we've done is I've bought a Scient pack that's got a flush valve and a fill valve, and then the upstairs one I've bought a Fluid Master pack which comes with the flush valve and a fill valve. But what we've done in this case, because we've got a Scient flush valve but a Fluid Master fill valve, we've swapped our fill valves. So now my colleague's going to take the Scient one upstairs and use that up there, and then what that means I can do is I can just click this valve out, give the seating a good clean, which is probably why this toilet's been constantly running, because the washer's perished away and it's not making a seal. But I can now also click the fill valve out, pull that up, and I can now click the new flush valve and the new fill valve in without even taking the system apart. So when you buy the right bits, it does make life really easy sometimes, because now I haven't got to faff around taking wing nuts off, removing the cistern, anything like that. I can just literally swap this out nice and easy. So this is the new flush valve. Just click the cradle out. Give that seating a bit of a clean. Rub off that bit of debris. So our new washer sits nice and flat. And then with these, you just unclick the cable like that, and then that now you just drop in the existing cradle. And then that's the reason it's constantly running. You see where it does that to your finger. When it marks your finger and it goes all black, you know the rubber's perished away and it's no longer making a good seal. So that'll go in the bin, the fill valve will go in the bin. New flush valves in. And then get your new fill valve, and all you've got to do, pull that little grey clip back, like that. Pull your stem out, which is a little bit difficult to do one-handed. But I'm going to try anyway. Like that. Click my bucket back in. Like that. And then that now, you just push straight back on to the old stem. Make sure the fill valve's going to shut off below the internal overflow, so you can push that down to the height you want. And then just got to remember to click the little grey locking pin back in, and then that is literally it. Get the screwdriver, turn your water back on. And it should no longer be running into the pan. So as you can see, it's not. You can see the stain there of where it was running into the pan in the past constantly. Sometimes the customer doesn't notice it and then it's just wasting so much water. But that's now feeling lovely. Make sure the fill valve shuts off at the correct position. That should be around about on the 6 litre mark on the system. It should shut off right about now. Just there. Yeah, happy with that. Make sure it's not running again, which it's not. And then that's it. And then we'll just get the new button, which is in that bag there. Connect that onto the system lid. I can remove that note now, which basically just said that in order to get the lid off, you've got to unscrew the button, but the new one we don't, because it comes on the cable. So remove that sticker, wind the new button in, clip your flush valve to your button, put it on, job done. And that's it, new button connected, remove the sticker. No longer running into the pan. All the rubbish back in the box, and then what I'll do is I'll strip some of these down, so I'll keep that washer on the van. I'll keep the foam washer from the other size cradle on the van as a spare. Any sort of little donuts that you get that you can potentially use and keep. They come with a little in a system pack as well, so you get the 3 bolts. I mean, they're plastic ones, the nuts, which are not the best, but you've got nice thick washers sometimes with these, and nice new bolts and stuff, so they're just good to keep on the van, get you out of trouble sometimes when you turn up to a job. But that's all in, water's all on, all flushing lovely, job done. See how my colleague's getting on upstairs. They've actually got to strip the whole system down on their one because the flush valve in the upstairs toilet wasn't a standard flush valve, and my suppliers didn't stock it, so they've actually got to strip the whole system apart and change the whole thing. But I got the nice easy one, so that's life sometimes.